What is up, guys? So today I'm going to talk about being in a police cell, 24 hours in police custody, what it's like, what we have to go through. It's just, as always, it's just my own personal opinion. I'm sure if you ask 100 other people, they'll give you 100 different opinions. This one's just my own. I'm not trying to garner sympathy. I'm just simply telling you what it's like and what we have to go through. So, everybody knows, there's no secret, I used to be a heroin addict, and along with addiction comes crime. You need to support your habit, and what I used to do is shoplifting, steal from office buildings, commercial burglaries, things like that. I'm not proud of it. I wish I could click my fingers and it'd all be gone, but I can't, you know. It happened, so in the words of any shit YouTuber ever, it is what it is. And that's why I talk about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you like just one specific day from my life from back then, and if you've been in that world, you'll know what I'm talking about. So let's get into it. So it was Friday afternoon. I just bought some drugs, smoked them, and I nodded off. I didn't mean to go to sleep. I was ready to go out earning again, but I fell asleep. I crashed. And when I came round, it was about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and I needed money. And, you know, I've got the withdrawal symptoms hanging over me. I'm thinking, oh my God, I've got to get some money. It's got to be quick. I've got to do it now. I didn't want to, but you have to. So I've gone to town, and I'm walking around town looking for an empty shop, somewhere I could go in, just grab 10 items and be gone. You know, quick tenner, and that's me sorted. But I didn't want to get caught because, you know, if you get caught on a Friday whilst you're detoxing, you're in for a world of pain. So anyway, I've gone past the first shop. It was people in there. I thought, I'm not going in there. Went past the second shop. Security were there. I'm not going in there. Went past the third shop. Empty. I think it was Boots. Everybody knows high risk in Boots, but I've got to do it. I need the heroin, so I've got to do it. So I've gone in Boots, grabbed 10 toothpastes or something, 10 items, and I'm heading for the door thinking, yes, I've done it. And boom, security guards jump out, grab me. Gutted. Phone the police. Can't you just let me go now? You've been in here before, you're known around here for being a shoplifter, so we've got to phone the police. So now I'm thinking, oh no, it's Friday afternoon, I'm going to be there till Monday. Absolutely devastated. So the police have come, waited like an hour for the police, thrown me, you know, took me across to the car, which is so embarrassing, everybody looking at you. And you get to the police station, and it's the same old, oh, all right, Ian, you again. Everybody knew me there, because I was such a prolific thief back then. Because that's what addiction does to you. They took me to my cell, and I hate it when they say, oh, we're just going to pop you down for a minute, which translation means you're going in this cell for the next 3 days. You get in the cell, it's miserable, it's cold, there's like a blue crash mat, and the walls are all flaky and disgusting with snot, and ugh, it's gross. And you've got a cold crash mat what you have to lay on. Now the best thing to do is just go to sleep, but you can't when you're withdrawing from heroin. You can't sleep at all, and I knew what was going to happen. They was going to keep me there all night, interview me in the morning so that I missed court, and then keep me till Monday. And I was gutted, and there's nothing you can do, you know. I just lay there. And the headache starts, the stomach cramps, you know, you start shivering and and you start sneezing, rapid fire. And there's always some knobhead banging on the doors, screaming and shouting, and oh, it's a nightmare. The office, what they called, security office, custody suite, come round, checking on you, seeing if you're alright. And then you get some food, which is absolutely vile. The only one thing what is like eatable is the all-day breakfast, which is 3 horrible little sausages in some beans with some peeled potatoes, which you can't eat anyway when you're detoxing from heroin. And anyway, they kept me all night. I was up all night, shaking, shivering, sick as a dog. And then the next morning they come to interview you. Solicitor's here, take you in. Solicitor says, look, you've got your bank to rights, just admit it, take your punishment. Yep. So then police come, say, you ready? Take me into the interview. They give me the caution. You don't have to say anything what may harm your defence, something which you later rely on now. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. I said, do you know what it means? Yep. What does it mean? It means I don't have to say out now. But if I do say something later, they're going to wonder why I didn't say it now. And then they give you the interview. Admit everything. If there's a chance of getting away with it, I'll go no comment. But if I'm bang to rights, I'll just say, yep, you've got me. And then it's back to the cell. And you're there then. Take you up to the desk sergeant and they'll say, yeah, we're keeping you, you're already on bail. So we're going to keep you till the next available court, which is Monday. So it's Saturday now. I've already been in overnight. So I've still got Saturday, Sunday, and then they'll take you Monday, and it is horrible. All weekend in those disgusting, horrible, miserable, cold cells. It's whilst you're in pain, and it feels like twice as long because you're up all night because you can't sleep. So it feels like 6 days instead of 3. And anyway, the one thing what's beautiful is on Monday when you hear the security coming and you hear the cuffs like being opened, the clicking of the cuffs, you're like, yes, finally I get out of this room. 3 days in this horrible, miserable police cell. And then they take you, the security guard comes in, you can smell his aftershave or perfume if it's a woman, and it's the usual, oh, you're right, Ian. Same again, back here again, it's time to sort your life out. Yep, back here again. And then they take you over to the court, in Doncaster they take you under the cells, under the police station, into the court cells. And back then they used to put you in a cell, a big double cell, but they'd put like 6, 7 of you in there, so you could sit and have a chat. You could have a smoke back then. I don't think you can do any of that now. But yeah, the amount of times I've been to court, the amount of times I've been in those cells, it never gets any easier. You still get that sinking feeling in your stomach when you go up to see the judge. And there's no point moaning or crying. You've just got to get over it. Just got to get through it. And I can remember an old boy once said to me in prison, he says, look, in prison, be a tough guy. But in the courtroom, you've got to be a politician, Be a tough guy in prison, be a politician in the courtroom. Which what it means is just be respectful, be polite. There's no point being a knobhead because you're just going to get longer time. But yeah, you go up in front of the judge and it's the same old sinking feeling. You're getting remanded. Ugh. And it's horrible. It's rubbish. And then off you go, back down to the cells. The judge will say, yeah, remanded, back down to the cells. But the one thing I will say about the court system is be a politician in the courtroom, which means you do what you can to get out. If you've got to be polite, if you've got to be friendly, overly polite, then do it. I know I once wrote a letter to the judge apologising for my actions. I was in Crown Court. And someone says, why don't you write a letter to the judge and, apologise for what you've done? And I thought, I'm not going to do that. Pussies do that. But then he said, my solicitor says, look, you're looking at 6 years here. So I said, right, I'll write a letter to the judge and apologise. So that's what I did. And I remember my barrister came in and he read this letter. And he says, I tell you what, this is brilliant. This is going to go in your favour. And he gave the letter to the judge, and the judge read it, and he says, well, I don't agree with you saying that you've not had a second chance. I think you've had plenty of second chances. He says, but after reading this letter, he says, I'm going to give you the rope to hang yourself with. I'm going to give you a drug treatment and testing order, and if you fail it, then you're getting 4 years. You're looking at 4 years. And, I was a junkie back then, so obviously I got out, reoffended, and I got 4 years. But that letter helped me get out in the first place, It got me a drug treatment and testing order. If I'd have complied with it, then I wouldn't have got 4 years, but I didn't, because I was a junkie back then. But anyway, yeah, be a tough guy in the prison, be a politician in the courtroom, and Yeah, that's what it's like, being in a cell for over 24 hours. Every junkie will tell you, the police cells are horrible. Nobody wants to go in a police cell. It's boring, it's depressing. Oh, it's crap, especially if you're detoxing from heroin. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, press the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. You know, I get in the comments, I always interact with people in the comments. Bonjour, au revoir.